Myself Rakhi Bansod from School of Mechanical Science. My roll number is 20ME02029 and today I am explaining experiment number 2 of V Lab. So the aim of the experiment is to draw the circuits of PN junction diodes in both forward and reverse bias using the voltmeter and ammeter. And the aim of the experiment is VI characteristic of PN junction diode. The component required are voltmeter function generator, ammeter, diode, resistor. So the diode is of 1N4148 and the resistors is of 1 kilo ohm. This is a diagram for circuit diagram for forward bias and this is a diagram for reverse bias. Heading. What is diode? A diode is a non-linear element which allows current to pass only in one direction from cathode to anode. Cathode is made up of N-type material, while anode is made up of P-type material. We all know this. Donor impurities are introduced into one side and acceptor impurities into the other side of a single crystal of an intrinsic semiconductor to form a p-n diode with a junction called depletion region. Positive terminal of input supply is connected to anode and the positive terminal of the input supply is connected to cathode. Then the diode is called forward bias. Then, if a negative terminal of input supply is connected to anode and the positive terminal of input supply is connected to cathode, then the diode is called reverse bias. Um, so the diode equation is I equal to I naught e to the power V upon nu Vt minus 1. Where I equal to current flowing in diode and then V equal to voltage applied to the diode, Vt equal to a volt equivalent of temperature, nu equal to 1 for germanium and 2 for silicon, and where I not equal to reverse saturation current. These are some characteristics of forward bias. Like in forward biasing, the positive terminal of battery is connected to the P side and the negative terminal of the battery is connected to N side of the diode. Diode will conduct in forward biasing because the forward biasing will decrease the depletion region with and overcome the barrier potential. In order to conduct the forward biasing voltage should be greater than the barrier potential. During forward biasing, the diode acts like a closed switch with a potential drop of nearly zero point 0.6 volts. It for a silicon diode, and the forward and reverse bias characteristic of silicon diode. This is the observation table for forward bias, and we get and we get and this calculation get from this graph. DC output. This is a circuit. Let's run it. So we get this value. This is the voltage in diode and this is the current in diode. These are the values for forward bias. And these are the characteristics of reverse bias. In reverse biasing, the positive terminal of battery is connected to N side and the negative terminal of battery is connected to P side. And in forward bias, the positive terminal of battery is connected to P side and the negative terminal of battery is connected to N side. And there is a reverse condition between this. In reverse biasing, the diode does not conduct electricity, and in forward bias, in this conduct, there is a closed circuit between in forward bias, and the diode acts like a closed switch with a potential drop. Uh, and in reverse bias, the diode does not conduct electricity. Since reverse biasing leads to increase in deflection region width, hence current carrier charges find it more difficult to overcome the barrier potential. The diode will act like an open switch, and in forward bias condition, it acts like a closed switch. There is no current flow in reverse bias. What is reverse breakdown? If the external reverse bias voltage is increased to a large enough value, reverse breakdown occurs. Assume that one minority condition band electron require enough energy from the external source to accelerate it toward the positive end of the diode. During its travel, it collides with an atom and imports enough energy to know a valence electron in the conduction band. There are two conduction band electron. Each will collide with an atom, knocking two more electrons. Their rapid field of multiplication of conduction band electron multiplication of conduction, known as valence effect, result in rapid field of reverse current. Zener diode is specifically designed for reverse breakdown. This is the observation table for reverse bias, and the circuit diagram for reverse bias is this. DC output, let's run it. These are the values for voltage in diode and current in diode. This is the procedure for forward bias and reverse bias. Procedure for forward bias. Simple. Connect the positive terminal of P region of diode and the negative terminal of DC power supply to N region diode. N region of diode. Connect a resistor of resistance of 1 kilowatt, 1 kilo ohm in series with diode, and vary the voltage of source in steps of zero point 0.1 volt from zero point 0.2 volt, and then in step of zero point 0.5 volt till 5 volt, and note down the values. And in reverse bias, connect the positive terminal of N side of diode to the negative terminal of P side, and connect a resistor of 10 kilo ohm in series with diode, and same as this, and tabulate different reverse currents and corresponding reverse voltage. Plot via characteristics of silicon PN junction and get the values. These are the result and the observation. Calculation for diode equation. We know the equation. I know I equal to I naught. This is the equation for diode equation. I equal to I naught e to the power V upon nu Vt minus 1. These are the calculations. Here we find static forward resistance, dynamic forward resistance, and static reverse resistance and dynamic reverse resistance. These are theoretical values for this. There are some applications of PN junction. Yeah, say, like it is used in It is used as rectifiers in many electric circuits as a voltage control oscillator in variators. It can be used as solar cell. It can be used in LED lights applications. PN junction diode can be used as a photodiode as a diode in sensitive to the light when the configuration of the diode is reverse bias. This is the graph. This line goes upward forward bias and this is reverse bias. And this is knee cut in and here breakdown. This is breakdown voltage. Here are some questions like what is PN junction? A PN junction is a boundary or interface between the two types of semiconductor material, P-type and N-type, inside a single crystal of semiconductor. These are some questions. Thank you.